Former Pennsylvania Senator, former Pennsylvania Congressman, former GOP presidential candidate Rick Santorum joining us by phone. Rick, I see here that you're in North Carolina. You are on the campaign trail. Give us the scene down there in this tough race between Kay Hagan and Thom Tillis.
Well, this has been a war zone down here. I mean, North Carolina seems to always have some of the toughest Senate races in the country. It's a very, very evenly divided state, and I think this is no exception. And I can tell you the attitude here is cautious optimism. I mean, this is a tough race. Thom Tillis has been making steady progress here in the last few weeks. The race seems to be about dead even right now, and I can tell you, as someone who actually was on the phones last night after I did rallies in 3 places around the state late last night up until 9 o'clock, I was on the phones with a group of our volunteers who came in from my organization, Patriot Voices, and a lot of folks are saying, boy, it's nice to get a real person's voice on the phone, because they've been bombarded with robocalls and automated calls to try to encourage them to vote for one candidate or the other. So the grassroots effort on both sides is in high gear, and it's just who's more effective. I think that's what's going to come down to.
And, of course, out there working on behalf of Republican candidates, the question becomes Rick Santorum. What about 2016?
Well, I've been very clear about being open to that. I haven't made any decisions yet, but we're doing everything consistent with taking a shot at 2016. But we won't make that decision finally till later in 2015.
Well, mindful of that, it is interesting to see how the Republican Party's closing arguments have been proffered. Mitt Romney, we referenced his appearance on Fox News Sunday when he spoke about an immigration bill coming through a Republican Congress. Was that wise for Mitt Romney to promise that on national television this past Sunday?
Well, I think that's a very dangerous idea. I don't think if you look at this race, you don't see any Republican candidate in the country. I don't see anyone out there in a major race out there promising immigration reform, out there saying that what we need to do is provide amnesty for people that are in this country illegally. I don't see one Republican running on that. And then for us to go out there and argue that we need to increase legal immigration and we need to provide amnesty to people in this country who are here illegally, so we flood this country with more workers as working Americans are hurting and wages are going down and median income is going down, that middle American, working Americans are struggling, and we have Republicans out there who are tone deaf, suggesting what we need are more workers so we can flood labor markets and even further depress wages for average working Americans. I scratch my head sometimes and think, what country do they live in, and what are our interests in providing good jobs and an opportunity for prosperity for average working Americans.
Now, you didn't mention any names, but I can think of 2 people right off who've said things like that, Paul Ryan and Jeb Bush, who also are looking at 2016. Is that criticism? Does the shoe fit for those gentlemen?
Well, all I can say, if anybody's out there right now suggesting that we need to provide more opportunities for people to encourage them to cross the border illegally by providing amnesty, more opportunities to bring more people, lower skilled workers into this country to compete against average Americans who are seeing their wages stagnate and their incomes go down, that anybody suggesting that that's a good thing for America, I think is absolutely wrong, and I'm going to do everything I can during this session of Congress to convince Republicans and Democrats that we have to first look out for the interest of American workers and stop playing these political games.
30 seconds left. Tell us about blue-collar conservatives, their importance today and in 2016.
Well, I mean, that's why I feel so passionate about the immigration issue. Americans, we have to look at the folks who are hurting in America. Those are people who want to work, who are scratching and clawing right now and finding that the opportunities for them to be able to rise in America, as tough as it ever has been, we have to look at the American family and realize that family breakdown has been one key part of the reason that the economy for most Americans is not looking so good. And we have to have a comprehensive plan as Republicans to talk to average workers in America.
And we will have to leave it there. Rick Santorum's authored the book, Blue Collar Conservatives. Stay with us.